Bienvenidos, soy la Bruja Espinada, and I am here with a very special Sturgeon full moon reading. So let's get started. There's a lot going on astrologically. I've said this before, but we're currently in Mercury retrograde. Friday 8/8 is the Lion's Gate. If you follow the Gregorian calendar, the full moon is on Saturday the 9th, which is the Sturgeon full moon. So there's a lot of changes happening right now, and considering that the full moon is when we go into manifestation mode, one of the things that we have to take into consideration, especially since this is during Mercury retrograde, is how you communicate what it is that you want to communicate. Right? So I've said this before. It's not the first time that I said it either, but what you want to do when you're manifesting is you want to have, when you write a manifestation or you say a manifestation, one of the things you have to take into consideration is that you want to utilize you want to say it as if you've already acquired it. I am confident. I am financially healthy. I am abundant. I am, and then you keep going, right? Whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. I am healthy. I have this, right? So this, but with that being said, going back to Mercury retrograde, is that you don't just want to make statements of what you don't want, because that doesn't work for the universe, right? So that doesn't work for the higher power. What you need to do is, with your whole chest, state what it is that you do want. So don't just aimlessly state what it is that you want, but be mindful. Take this time to take into consideration what it is that you want. And I'll tell you guys about a practice for manifestation, since it's summertime, if you guys go to a body of water. So let's get started with this reading. We are starting off with the Three of Swords. We have the Lovers. We have the Ace of Cups. And we have the Five of Swords. Very interesting dynamic to be starting off with. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. We have the Six of Cups, Three of Cups, the Star, the Hanged Man, the Magician, Strength, the Knight of Swords, the Tower, the Four of Pentacles. A lot of lessons to be learned at this time. The Three of Wands, the Seven of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. I'm going to stop, actually, the last one, the Six of Swords. I'm going to stop here. We actually have a good amount of elemental cards here, but let's start off with our primary cards. So we have the Three of Swords, heartache, pain, discomfort. We have the Lovers. So with these two coming in back to back, it is what it could be a heartbreak. It could be because of losing a friendship, losing a partnership, whether it's romantic, business-like, a collaboration, something fell through, right? And then we're following it up with the Ace of Cups, brand new feelings that we are embracing and having to cope with. And then we have the Five of Swords, battling. So and this doesn't just mean it's battling as in you're getting in a fight. It could be that. Hopefully it's not the case. But one of the things that you want to take into consideration is that it could be an internal battle, especially since we're in Mercury retrograde, and it all has to do with the fuck up-idness of communication, pardon my French. But that's one of the things that you want to take into consideration, is that there is conflict and that there is heartache. This is pain. And then of course we have what is the Lovers, and we have the Ace of Cups. So there is a lot of emotional turmoil going on right now. And taking into consideration that it is Mercury retrograde, and I'm going to keep saying this because that's That's for a lot of people when it comes to Mercury retrograde, especially during this Lionsgate portal, which is the 8/8 for Friday, is that there is a this is just a time frame in which you seem to be thinking, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening now? It's because there's just a lot of energies happening right now, right? We are transitioning from the hottest summer months, and we're going to be going what is into beginning to shift into fall, which is um, September 21st typically. I could be wrong for the 22nd, but around those days is when we have the start of fall. Depending on where you live, it may not feel like it, but currently, right now, there's just a lot of energy shifts. And so, considering that we have the Three of Swords, the Lovers, the Ace of Cups, and the Five of Swords, there's a lot of pain that's being inflicted right now that we have to deal with, or that you may have to deal with, or someone you care about has to deal with. And so, you are being pulled in at that time. So, communication is key, especially since we have the Three of Swords and the Five of Swords. That is air, it is communication. There might be things that if you're providing comfort to someone or you're explaining your situation to someone, things may not be coming out the way that you would like. And so you have to think about what you say first. Now, considering that this is going on, we have the Empress card, the Six of Cups, right? These two are going, it's a very interesting matchup the way that these are happening, right? So these starting cards are good cards considering what the primary focus of the reading is. The Empress is something that you've been striving to achieve. It's a level that you've been trying to get to, that you've been working hard to ascertain, because this is where you want to be. This is your dream career, your dream persona, the being that you ultimately want to be. This is something you're striving for, right? Whether it's a job, whether it is a mindset, whether it is a type of healing, whatever it may be, this is what you've been striving for. Now, interestingly enough, it's followed by the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups is a card of reminiscing. It's a card of reminiscing, looking back, understanding that, there are feelings from the past, whether it's because of this situation, be like things aren't gonna be the same, whatever your particular situation is. The Six of Cups is just looking back at what once was and no longer is, right? And so the Six of Cups is just that indicator that while you are working hard to move forward, and there's nothing wrong with looking back and appreciating what was. It could have been a toxic relationship. It could be a situation that we're no longer in. And it could have been a healthy relationship, and it could have been a non-healthy relationship. Or a connection, or, maybe there's been a shift in the environment of where you used to work that's no longer the same because of either new management or a shift of department or whatever it is, right? There is just things aren't what they used to be anymore. And so the Six of Cups is that looking fondly back at things, but it also serves as a reminder that you should not stay wallowing in the past either. You can't stay in the past too long. You have to keep moving forward. And it's good to keep moving forward because then we're seeing the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups is an indicator of celebration, and we know it's something positive. We know it's celebration because it's followed by the Star card. The Star card is an indicator of hope, an indicator of good things that are coming. It's that light at the end of the tunnel, right? So while you might be thinking about the past or past things are popping up, it sucks to let go of it or to come to terms with it. The Three of Cups is an indicator that there are many other things to be celebrating for, right? There's more things to celebrate in life. besides the past. And the star is that indicator, right? The star is that glimmer of hope that's awaiting you just to look up for that guidance. If you're looking for your North Star to keep you stepping forward and find your way, the star is that indicator. And as we keep moving forward, we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man, I've explained this before, but if you're new here, the Hanged Man is a nod to taking a step back and looking at things from a different perspective, right? So the Hanged Man, you could be very upset considering the situation here that we see with the Three of Swords and the Lovers, and the Mercury retrograde. I want to say combativeness, but that's not exactly what I want to say. But this Five of Swords, sorry, these Five of Swords, these Three of Swords, there's just a conflict. That's what I wanted to say. With this conflict, this pain, we have the Hanged Man. Now, in the moment, it may seem like there's no way to see the glimmer of hope, but if you flip things on its head, if you flip the situation on its head and look at it from a different perspective, you may not see it now, but when it comes time to look back at it, you're going to realize that it was for the best, right? Now, sometimes it feels as though you'll never get there, right? But it takes one step at a time. And it all begins with stating what it is that you want to change, what you want to achieve, what you want to manifest. Because the Magician here is another reminder, it is an indicator of your abilities to make shit happen, right? That's what the Magician is here for. The Magician is here to remind you of your power. The Magician is here to remind you that you are that bitch, that you are that capable, that you have the power within you to manifest through prayer, through chanting, through ritual, through, dreams, whatever it is that is your element in order to make things happen, whether it's daydreaming, sleep dreaming, lucid dreaming. You have that ability. You have that power. And so, yes, shit happens. Shitty things happen. Shitty situations happen. But you can't keep wallowing when you have goals and visions that you hope to achieve. Celebrate what you can. Don't give up hope. Flip the situation on its head. Look at the bigger picture. And remember, you're that bitch. Or then followed with strength. Strength again, another reminder of your capabilities. You have strength. You can summon strength. Here, it's that indicator. You can harness strength to your advantage, especially right now. Just be mindful in your communication style, because we are met here with the Knight of Swords. Now, if nothing has happened to you, hopefully that continues to be the case. I'll knock on wood for you. But the Knight of Swords here is just another reminder of your status of learning, right? We're always in a state of learning. How we level up in our learning is different. In this instance, the Knight of Swords, you've come a long way from learning how to pray, learning how to manifest, how to speak things into the universe. But this is just that reminder of, don't just speak all willy-nilly. Take your time so that you are able to clearly state what you want instead of just listing off what you don't. Okay? Now, the reason why I say this may not have happened to you, and I hope it isn't the case, is because we're followed with the Tower card. The Tower card is sudden change, right? Now, it could be negative because let's say you've been resisting change this whole entire time and not have been willing to embrace change. But if you have been doing the work to embrace change, the Tower, because typically, well, actually when it came out, it was in reverse. I don't read in reverse only because eventually it'll all come out what needs to be said, whether I read it in reverse or right side up. But in this case, whether it's in reverse or not, the situation doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be bad. If you've been putting in the work, if you've been diligent about putting in the work, change is going to happen, and it could be good change, right? But it may come so suddenly that you're not ready for it, or you might panic and think you're not ready for it. Now, as I say this, we're followed by the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles is here depicted as 4 cats. In the Rider-Waite card deck, the Four of Pentacles, it is a individual that is sitting on a throne, and it seems like they're hoarding 4 pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is an indicator to not hoard your resources. So it is that reminder that when you hoard something, the universe doesn't receive that as if you are ready to receive. Because when you're clutching something, you're trying to hold on to that. You're trying to store it for something. And that's not the best energy that you want to be putting out. One of the energies that you want to have is that when you give, you receive, right? And so this is an energy to not have, especially when you're going through sudden change. So you might be put into a position where you feel like you don't have, and so you're not trusting enough to share the resources that you have. But use what you know wisely. If you feel like it may become an investment, it will work in your favor. But if you hoard something, the universe reads that as lack and won't necessarily give you because you're not willing to give back. The thing is that all energy is an exchange. And so in order to get, you have to provide, right? It's a cycle. It's cyclical. You have to keep the energy moving. If you're not giving, you're not going to get, right? Because think of it this way, like, let's say you're hoarding because you're too afraid that I don't have enough to give, and yet you're telling other people, like, I need this though, but you're not giving anything in return. So someone else would be like, well, why am I going to give to you if you're not giving to me? Let's say it is you have a bunch of bottles of water and someone has a bunch of apples and you're hungry, but they're thirsty. And you're like, no, I don't want to give up my water because what if I get thirsty? And they're like, well, I don't want to give up my apples because I might get hungry. And yet that even exchange is you will be fed and they will no longer be thirsty, right? But you got fed and they were able to drink. That even exchange needs to happen. It doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. I say resources because it could be a connection. It could be energy. It could be work. Like, it could be anything, but that's why I say resource. Don't hoard the resources that you have. Use them wisely. We're following up with some more wands. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. And we have the Page of Wands. There's a lot of unlearning and relearning here. So when we have the Three of Wands, it's that situation in which you are building something new, right? You're trying to create in this instance, right? You're trying to, again, build something up. You have determination to do something. But when we're met with the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Wands conveys a lot with trust. A lot of the times when we see the Seven of Wands, we see it as struggle. We see it as struggle. We see it as um, being in another type of conflict of sorts. But when we have the Page of Wands, we're relearning these things, right? We're starting from the bottom in the front from the bottom in how we want to better harness our passions, our determination, and sometimes we could be afraid because we've been shut down in the past, right? Or we've not had enough support when it comes to our passions. Now, again, we are followed by the Seven of Cups, and we have the Six of Swords. Now, the Seven of Cups is that indicator of just pick one. Just pick one. There's so many different things that you can for example, we have the wands, right? Determination, passions, and the cups is just that what's the best way that I can explain it? So let's say that there are 7 different types of potions that'll help you, right? One can give you strength, one can give you confidence, one can give you full health, one can give you whatever, right? But you just need to take one. And a lot of the times we get stuck in a situation in which we don't know which to pick first. Like, I need all of them, but which one do I pick? Which one do I really need in this moment? And so we get caught up and be like, and then we don't pick one. It takes too long for us to pick one. And so the universe, this is just a nod from the universe with just pick one. Eventually you can get to all of them, but you gotta just start with one, right? And no matter which one you start with, it's gonna be a victorious decision. It doesn't matter which one you pick. The outcome is gonna be good. That's what the Six of Swords is telling you. Okay, so moving on. Mighty Fates, what lesson do you have to add on to this reading? I don't feel like I had to elaborate on too many of the card reading because it's honestly similar to some of the reminders that I've given before. So we have the Revolutionary. Let's see what the lesson of the Revolutionary is. I'm trying to remember if I've read this one before, because I don't remember if I've ever read this one. Okay, so here we go. The Revolutionary. The Revolutionary card is asking you to challenge the status quo. Whether it is external or internal, the Revolutionary seeks to do things radically different. Like the outlaw, the Revolutionary has ideals that can be viewed as quote unquote out there. They are a natural leader that can see what the collective needs and are about to put it into action. They invite others to be part of building the world with them. The Revolutionary invites us to bring some of the trailblazing energy and apply it to our situation in life. How can you meet the needs of the collective? How can you lead with integrity? Be aware that working with revolutionary energy does not always translate to being accepted and loved. You will have people that support you, but your work can also attract naysayers. This just means it is potent and worthwhile. Do not let anyone affect how you stand in the world. Allow their words to fuel your fire and keep going. A balanced revolutionary leads and empowers. They are not afraid to be direct and deliver a harsh message when necessary. But they do so with love. They are the original thinkers that push the envelope. They are all about questioning things and inviting others to do the same. They are truth seekers, but fluid in how they find truth. In the quest for the good of the greater collective, an unbalanced revolutionary may become oppressive and use tactics that can become harmful. They also may become tyrannical and unable to hear others because they have some imbalanced ego issues, which is what you want to take into consideration when it comes with the Knight of Swords. Your voice is a powerful tool. A knight is learning how to harness that. Keep that in mind. So let's start to finish off with the animal spirits. And spirit guides, what message do you have for our watchers? What message do you have? One card if you please. Ooh, lovely. We have the Crow Spirit. My favorite card, the Crow Spirit. Here we go. Co-create with spirit. As you look around you, can you sense the magic that pulses through the world? Have you witnessed how every thought can become a thing? How every intention can call the universe into action as the sacred laws shape what you experience? The universe works in perfect order. When you align your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with spirit, you will want to crow with delight, feeling the excitement and wonder of being in harmony with something much larger than yourself. Crow Spirit says you are right on target now to see your dreams magically come into being in the visible world. The laws of abundance, compensation, frequency, and praise are operating in your favor now. Remember to be grateful and praise what is yours, even if it is still coalescing, into form, still residing in the invisible realms of co-creation. No matter what area of your life you're concerned with now, what you hope for, it's on its way. For spirit is your co-creation partner. Crow Spirit wants to know why you think there's no magic in the world. So this is for a select few. Or do you believe that there once was, but it ran out, leaving nothing but ordinariness? Although conditions have become challenging, you have no reason to believe that everything you set an intention for will elude you. Right now, the outer world is shifting. Can you feel it? Maybe you're fretting about experiencing the results of some of your poor choices or judgment from the past. Crow Spirit is here to remind you that you can always course correct and get back on track. Maybe you've been hit by a loss or disappointment as a result of an event that had absolutely nothing to do with your manifesting. Yet it has shaken you to your core. Crow Spirit asks you to trust that no matter the temporary conditions, things will right themselves very soon. The law of balance makes it inevitable that this too shall pass. Ooh, that was a beautiful reading. I love this Crow Spirit. It's always a positive thing when you have Crow Spirit come out in the reading. So, don't give up hope. Don't wallow too long. Remember, you're that bitch. Okay? So, I hope this message helps, and I'll see you guys next time. See if this works. I'm always fighting with this thing. Here you go.